Hello, golf fanatics. It's Billy Ho here, back with another weekly PGA first look preview for DraftKings. And we're going to look at the golf course. Obviously, it's Super Bowl LIX, lixing it up this week. So if you know golf, it's the People's Open. This is Waste Management Phoenix Open in Scottsdale. It's the frat party fun fest environment in golf like no other. So we'll take a look at how beautiful the golf course is. We'll talk about the closing holes with number 16, par 3 stadium hole. We're going to look at Fantasy National. Shout out to them for the stats. Talk some DFS plays, maybe a little showdown, some one and done since my contest at Rick Run Good started with Pebble this week. So I'll touch on what my strategy is going to be during Super Bowl week. Check out the Super Bowl special. I'm going to be doing just something with some of my likes and dislikes, some Super Bowl party stuff, maybe just kind of keep it fun and light. Then maybe toss out some prop bets, some money line bets, parlays, things of that nature would be fun. So make sure you are sub to the channel. That's the most important thing. Smashing that like, sharing on social media. Shout out to the Discord. You guys are coming in strong with the takes. Uh, so keep up the good work there. If you want to get into the Discord to discuss some golf or any other sport, there's MMA. There's guys in there, and I don't really look because I don't play NBA and MMA very often. But those sub channels are always lit up with people in there discussing plays and strategies and just fights and whatever. So it's not just golf. Horse racing is my big thing I do on YouTube. If you follow me, we have a horse racing channel. I'm not utilizing it the way I should be. So maybe if we get some horse racing guys in there, we can start talking up that too. Also, I always have a weekly PGA DraftKings contest. It will be posted as soon as the pricing's out, probably tomorrow afternoon. So jump in there and get it done. We're getting a pretty good response, but I'd like to get an uptick of a little bit more. So maybe we can spread the payout structure a little bit better. So that's going to do it for my shameless plugging. Let's get on in here and talk some TPC Scottsdale. TPC Scottsdale is a beautiful desert style golf course designed by Tom Weiskopf. Plays about 7,260 yards, and it's a par 71, three par fives. It has generous Bermuda fairways, around 33 yards wide, and very nice. The flyover offers a very scenic view over the desert sand, with the greens being on the large side, 7,100 square feet on average. There is a bit of controversy, so to speak. They've always been listed as Tiff Eagle Bermuda overseeded with POA and ryegrass. But this time around, I saw on the USGAA website that it is showing a triple overseed of POA, ryegrass, and bent. And it does say on the sheet that it's been literally 159 days, approximately 6 months, since they've seen anything more than a tenth of an inch of rain. So it's been dry for 6 months in Phoenix. So they had a hard time getting the overseed to stick. They were using grow lights and all kinds of different things to help the growing process. So I don't really know what that means for the putting. I just know traditionally it's flat, it's an easier putting surface. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'll treat it like a nice bent, just a pure putting surface to roll on. Nothing to worry about with that. So the better putters, you know, are going to be at an advantage. So and I will favor Bermuda a little bit because if it's been warmer along with the dryness, then the Bermuda, if they're water in the greens, then the Bermuda is logically going to be a little bit more dominant just because it didn't die out in the cold temperatures. Anyway, this is Tom Weiskopf, easy golf course, about 30th out of 49 golf courses. The scoring is pretty fair. It's gettable. It's just there's not a lot of big numbers lurking. Like you can't get in a ton of trouble like you can at a course like Sawgrass or somewhere. The three par fives are all gettable. You can get there in two pretty much with a decent drive on most of them. Closing four holes are the fireworks. You got the par five 15th, and that gave up 10 eagles, 148 birdies last year. So you get your round going. You can get your rally going at that point right there, so to speak. Then you have the stadium par three course to get your blood pumping, where it's high drama and flying debris come off that adrenaline fueled hole, and then you try to navigate that juicy drivable par four 17th, where it looks easy enough, pretty cut and dry. Everybody goes for it. There's no sense not to, because the risk reward is just an easy birdie or a possible eagle if you can get one up there. And that water lurking on the left will snatch anything up to the left, because the ball, once it gets going that direction, will filter to the water, literally. But once it goes in that water right there, it's pretty much a drop, chip, and putt. So players largely make par bogey at worst. So you can literally almost putt from your drop location at on that hole, which is kind of weird. To me, I kind of like that in a way, but because if you had to go back and re-tee it, you would see a lot more people laying up. So there's that. Uh, Now, I mentioned the greens previously. Uh, they're known to be firm anyway, but I would say that they're still using lots of water on the greens and whatnot. Just pay attention to the other shows to see any more info on what the actual grass is, the dominant strain of grass, so to speak. But like I said, I'm just not going to worry anymore about it. I think it's still a flat, easy putting surface. Most golfers will be neutralized on anyway. So, moving on. Keep an eye on the weather. There's no foreseeable rain in the future. There is a regular afternoon spike in the breeze, which is about 8, 9 miles an hour, about three in the afternoon. So that's really just not anything I'm super worried about. So let's jump over to the model, and we always start with tournament history. And here you have it. My man Scotty Too Hottie owns them over the last 4 years, back-to-back wins, third place last year, just missed the playoff with Hoffman and Nick Taylor. So real close there to a three-peat. JT, great history here. He's a guy I would have thought, man, he's coming into Pebble. I was really close to taking him at one and done, but he's been somewhat disappointing. I don't know what's going on with him. Uh, it was round two. He started out double bogey, hitting some terrible shot out of the sand, out of bounds, and then making double there. Then he came right back with a bogey after that. Now he went -5 the rest of the way to rally up to get a -2, and with finishing with just an amazing bunker shot from 18 to hole out for eagle. Still got issues with the putter. He was losing yesterday, last I checked, and Justin Thomas is a guy that we can look up. Yeah, he shot one over 74. So he just basically shot himself right out of the tournament yesterday in the poor weather. You would think Justin Thomas would have thrived in that kind of windy conditions, crappy, rainy conditions. He usually does. So I don't know. He's just the putter. The putter can leave him at any time. I don't think he's ever going to be fully confident again, it seems like. But anyway, this course fits a lot of the big dogs, and really just your top 10 course history guys down here to Spieth, even a little bit to Billy Ho and Finau underneath. But you can see how really good these top players have been in the last couple of years, really. Burns and Nick Taylor. I mean, Nick Taylor is going to be so popular after second place 23, wins in the playoff 24, won again this year in a playoff. The guy is just nails, playing well still. He's backed it up his last two tournaments, playing well at Pebble, uh, competing on a Sunday. And then you have Thagala, who nearly won this in 2022. He finished T3 there. He was fifth solo last year, so he's another guy big time interest in. Xander, you can see the number here is Xander and Finau. Xander, we don't know if he's going to be back. If he's back, he's absolutely going to be in play. You can see his last four. He didn't play here last year, but he has nothing but good finishes here. So those guys are really, really going to be some popular dudes. Uh, but you can see it's the top 10 course histories are all logical DFS plays. So let's take a look at the breakdown of the holes here. There's your 18 through and through. So we talked about these closing holes down here where you see 15 through 18. Well, you start off with kind of an all right start. You have the easy par three. You want to get off start fast. If you can birdie this first hole, you're going to be in good shape going forward. It's not too awful hard to get the second hole. I mean, you can start out birdie, 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 or birdie, birdie, eagle. I mean, this is a really, really easy par five. So you can start out hot and then make the turn. But like if you wanted showdown advice, I don't see any real strategy unless you prefer the back nine first. Maybe you have a better chance on a wraparound. I don't know because you have 17 and 18, which are relatively gettable. Uh, and then you wrap around to hole number one. So, then you got one, two, three after that. So it's just as easy either way. So I don't think I'm going to worry about going off one or 10. Depending, maybe if you want to play on Friday, you might want to play an AM guy going off of 10 first. That way, when they get to 16, it's not going to be such a hype fest. They'll be there in the morning. It'll be loud, but it won't be 4 o'clock in the afternoon, just off the meat rack loud. So let's go to the model and take a look at what we got going on here. And I'm going to talk about the mixed condition model too. And I'll show some screenshots of the modeling settings this time around just to see you know what we got here. But obviously Sepp Straka has been playing so good, it's logical he's going to be number one. Um, Charlie Hoffman, like I said, playing well this year so far. I already bet him at 100 to 1. And also, if shout out to anybody who has any good NFL Super Bowl props, because I think I'm going to take like one easy prop that I would like to get like plus money on and then parlay it with Hoffman at 100 because I was testing it the other day and I can make that 100 into like 170 to 1 easily. So if I can get one of those props that might be a no-brainer, then add it with Hoffman, I can boost 50 points. I can boost that 100 to 1. Maybe even get up to 170. So another guy is Russell Henley. He's down here. He's yet. So these odds that are not set yet. I guess they're not. I don't know if I didn't see the committed list. I'm sure they committed, but we don't know if they're going to play or not. So Henley's another one. Middling results here, though. You would think he would play a lot better because he's really good on Bermuda putting. Uh, and the way he hits fairways, he's such a good force with that. And his iron play, wedges, you'd think he'd be a really good fit here. But really middling results, like 20s, things of that nature. So if he's going to be like, uh, I don't know what he'll come in odds wise, but if he comes in the 9,000 range or even low tens, I mean, this field's good enough where he doesn't have to be a 5-digit player, but I think he'll be in the nines. And that's going to be a tall order if you're looking at a guy who gets barely top 20 or something like that. So Keith Mitchell's another one. Rounding back into form, the putter does seem to be cooperating a little bit. He's doing pretty well at Pebble. This surface, I think he'll putt pretty well on. He's usually good on Bermuda. I'm assuming it's not, maybe it's not Bermuda, maybe it's overseed or it's whatever, but it's going to putt pure. So it's going to putt easier and it's easier to read these greens. So if the price is right on him, I'll fire him up. Now, I'll put up some guys now for one and done that I'm interested in, but like I said, I'm not going to be all in here with $8 million purse. My advice was to 14, I believe, signature slash majors. That's where all the money's at. Those are the ones I plan for. Those are the ones I'm going to pick, guys. I've got a spreadsheet dedicated to that. Then on these off events like this, where it's only 8 million purse, I'm just going to go with the hot hand or try to find somebody middling, or maybe even take a stab at some further down players. So like Thigala would be a logical choice. He'll probably be fairly popular. Nick Taylor would be obviously logical because he won here last year. He's playing so well right now. Why wouldn't he come back? I mean, he did finish second the year before that. So he's definitely a course horse. Nick Taylor probably going to be super popular in one and done, because why not burn Nick Taylor in an off event that you can maybe steal $1 million on. So I'm watching the golf as we speak, and Keith Mitchell just chipped in on the fifth hole for -8. So that might be some good karma for old Killer Keith. Uh, anyway, Matt Fitzpatrick would be a way out on a limb guy. He's going to be way down your model. He's not modeling. He hasn't been playing. He had a terrible 2024 season where he only had like three top tens all season long. But his game appears to fit. Uh, so we'll see how he does. I think it might be a wait and see approach, to be honest. I haven't fully decided, but maybe Hideki, Nick Taylor. There's several other guys like I see on my list. And if I bet Charlie Hoffman to win, maybe I'll take a shot on Charlie Hoffman to, because this is a tournament. It's not that big a deal if you don't win. But if you get like a top 10 or a top, five, somewhere around there, and you get like six figures, mid six figures would be nice, then you're getting it done. So let's go ahead and finish out the show with some final thoughts, and we'll get you out of here.
Hello, Billy Ho here. As the sole creator for this channel, I need you, the viewer, to help me grow. Just by subscribing to the channel and clicking that like button alone, you can help spread Billy Ho Sports to the racing community on YouTube.